Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving into a really powerful Japanese idea that might just change the way you think about success, happiness, everything really. We're going to uncover the secret of the firework master and learn how to find real fulfillment, not in that final flash of glory, but in the beautiful process that gets you there.
So, let me ask you a question. Have you ever worked super hard for something, you finally get there, you achieve the goal, and then almost immediately you feel kinda empty? That big moment of joy, it's amazing, but it's over so fast, and it leaves you thinking, wait, is that all there is? If you've ever felt that, you are in the right place.
You know, we're always told to chase things that last. Permanent success, lasting happiness, you name it. But what if we've got it backward? What if the most intense beauty, the deepest joy, is actually hiding in the things that disappear in a flash?
And that brings us to this incredible concept, Hakanasa. It's a Japanese word, and it's all about this deep, almost soulful appreciation for the beauty of things that are temporary. Think about cherry blossoms, right? They're breathtaking, but part of what makes them so special is that you know they'll be gone in a week. It's a beauty that's so powerful because it's fleeting. It's an idea that's really rooted in the Buddhist philosophy of impermanence, the simple truth that nothing lasts forever.
To really get our heads around this, we're going to look at it through this amazing metaphor, the firework master. Imagine being someone who pours their entire life and soul into creating a work of art that will exist for maybe 5 brilliant seconds in the night sky.
So, here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about why there's so much beauty in things that vanish. Then, we'll get practical with the master's 3 key steps: how to design the end, how to capture the afterglow, and, my personal favorite, how to love the preparation. And then, we'll wrap it all up so you can start living like a firework master yourself.
All right, let's dive right in. Why in the world does accepting that things end actually make life better? It sounds like the opposite of what we're taught, but trust me, it's the key to everything.
Just look at the difference here. So many of us operate with this underlying fear of loss. We want things to last forever, we get super attached to a specific outcome, and honestly, it creates a lot of anxiety. The firework master's way of thinking, though, is totally different. It accepts from the very beginning that things are temporary. And that's not sad, it's liberating. It frees you from being obsessed with the results so you can pour all your heart and energy into the process, into the here and now.
This quote just nails it. There's this principle called Ichibatsu Nukon, which basically means soul in a single shot. A master might spend years getting the mix just right for a firework that's gone in seconds. Their pride, their sense of self-worth, it doesn't come from that flash of light. It comes from the craft, the focus, the soul they put into creating it.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we put it into practice? Step 1 is all about flipping how we look at our projects. It all starts when you design the end. So instead of a project being this endless mountain to climb, reframe it. First, think of it as a small festival. Give it a clear end date. That sharpens your focus like nothing else. Second, don't just think about the big finale. Imagine the most beautiful way for it to fade away. And third, and this is crucial, practice letting go. The second it's done, you release it. It was a beautiful firework, it lit up the sky, and now you turn your attention to the next one.
The author of the text we're drawing from shared a great personal story. They treated a short-term project with the spirit of ichigo ichi, which means a once-in-a-lifetime encounter. They knew it was temporary, so when it ended, they could fully cherish the memories without getting stuck in the past. And then, boom, step right into the next project with all that energy.
So, your festival is over, the firework is burst, but what about that hollow feeling that can come right after? Well, step 2 is all about grabbing that afterglow and turning it into pure fuel.
The idea here is to store the emotion as mental gunpowder for later. So, how do you do it? First, create a sensory log. Don't just remember it, feel it again. What was the smell in the air? The sound of the silence after the applause? That little flutter in your chest? Next, put it into words, even just a short phrase or a line of a poem. This makes the memory a real thing you can hold on to. And finally, be grateful that it was temporary. Literally say, that was amazing because it didn't last forever. This is the perfect example. Think about the end of a mind-blowing concert. The final note fades, there's this huge wave of applause, and then quiet. The author points out that quiet isn't sadness, it's the afterglow. It's pure emotional energy just hanging in the air. By capturing that, you can use the power of something that's already gone to fire you up for whatever's next.
And that brings us to our final step. And honestly, this might be the most life-changing one of all.
It's about finding real joy and pride in the boring, everyday, unseen work, the powder preparation.
99%. Just let that number sink in for a second. That spectacular, seconds-long burst of a firework is the result of 99% preparation. All of that glory is built on a massive amount of quiet, careful, and sometimes tedious work. So the real question is, where should we be getting our sense of accomplishment from?
This is how you fall in love with that 99%. First, see your daily routine, the emails, the planning, all of it as compounding the gunpowder. Every little task is a part of the craft. Second, totally shift where you get your pride from. Judge yourself on the quality of your prep, not the final result. And third, let that good work build real excitement for what's coming. You start to think, man, with preparation this solid, the next firework is going to be incredible.
I absolutely love this. The author doesn't see their small tasks as chores, they see them as laying the groundwork so that everyone on the team can shine. Thinking that your work, no matter how small, is like one essential grain of gunpowder? I mean, talk about a way to maximize your motivation, right?
And really, that's the whole philosophy in a nutshell. It's about breaking free from our obsession with the final outcome, and instead finding incredible meaning and joy in the process of doing, well, everything.
So let's run through that toolkit one last time. Step 1, design the end. Treat your tasks like festivals with a finish line. Step 2, capture the afterglow. Turn those peak emotional moments into fuel. And step 3, love the preparation. Find your pride in the 99% of the work that nobody else sees.
So, I'll leave you with this to think about. In your next project, your next goal, what part of the process can you pour your soul into? What bit of powder preparation can you find joy in, completely separate from the final fleeting firework? Because that, right there, is where the real fulfillment is hiding.